Praise you. Right on, Doug. Thank you for coming again. Believe me, what the Lord's done for us coming to church is not too hard to ask for us. Would you all please stand with me so we can pray? I'd like to pray. We'll try to make it short and sweet. You know how. Lord, we humbly come to you. We come to the foot of the cross. And first thing, Father, we want to thank you. We want to thank you for this weather. Because we know you have a purpose, Lord. Whether it be for the farmers, whether it be for whatever. Lord, we understand and we receive it. Father, we also want to thank you for accepting us as we are, for who we are, and for all the little things that we hide from one another. If you would be a little more persistent in showing love, show us how to love, is what I'm trying to say. We need to carry that on. No matter how big and bad you think you are, or how shy you are, showing one another love and appreciation is definitely a gift of God. Father, we want to thank you for this coming up week. We want to thank you for things that we can't see yet, because we know you have a plan, Father, and we know your plan is good. Lord, we rebuke the devourer from anything, medically, financially, and or spiritually. We know that you stand in the gap, Father, and all we need is to have faith in the mustard seed. Ask of you first, and things promise will be taken care of, Father. Lord, we want to thank you. We want to thank you for everything. We want to pray for Bridget.
Well, I
We
can
want
do
to pray
that
for each and every one of you, especially Doug. Lord, we thank you and we love you. In Jesus' mighty name, we all say, Amen. Hallelujah. Join us in prayer and sing, because here we go. up for prayer during this worship, it's a time to pray. In the presence of my enemy, raise the hallelujah. Yeah.
there today, but glad you're all here. I've been trying to get noisy offering going here the last few weeks, but between sickness and weather and stuff, we just haven't seemed to have a lot of kids here. But I want to give you guys an opportunity to contribute to kids' camp tuition. We've got a lot of kids here coming on Wednesday nights. For some of them, kids' camp is just money for them is just out of reach. And we don't want money to be a factor in anyone's decision. We want to make sure that any kid that wants to go to camp can go to camp. So we're going to start out a new thing called Noisy Offering. And when I have kids here, I'm going to make sure that the kids come around with little buckets and they can collect a little change. But if they're not here, or if you guys miss us by some way, I want to make sure you guys have the opportunity to contribute. So if I have this, by the back doors here in the sanctuary, there's going to be this little box here. You guys can put something in there whenever you feel like it. Even if it's a penny, even if it's a dime, nickel, a quarter, whatever. Every little bit helps. Candle's going to come up really fast. We just want to make sure that anything that can go into go this week. I'm going to pray and ask God to bless our offering. Lord, thank you so much for each and every one of us here today. I just pray that you will bless us. And Lord, whoever couldn't make it today, whether it's illness or weather or whatever it is that's keeping them away, we just pray that you will reach out and touch them and bless them in a special way. And God, I ask that you would just move through this new noisy offering thing, that you would just help us to help all the kids that want to go to camp this year. Even if they just need a little help, or if they need a lot of help. And Lord, I ask as well that as we get ready to give our regular offering, that you would just bless that too. That you would take the little that we give and multiply it and use it for your kingdom. In your name, amen.
Grateful to be here in this place. Grateful to worship you together as a family in the church, the team. Lord, we Lord, we pray for those who could not be here today. I know some have very icy driveways and sidewalks, and cold is bitter. I pray many are watching the gift we have of technology so they can be here even while they're home to worship with us, to hear the message, to praise you. Lord, you're doing so many amazing things in your church. We're overwhelmed by the blessings and the doors you're opening for us. We just pray that we have the courage and the risk-taking faith to walk through those doors, to continue the gospel here in our community, and use the gifts that you've given us to impact others. Lord, this service is all for you. Give everything over. Let your Spirit fall in this place. Open hearts, open eyes. Let us truly see you today. We give you all the praise and honor and glory. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Be seated. Welcome. Those of you that don't know me, my name is Adelmund. I'd like to say welcome to those who are listening online, watching online. If you are watching online, make sure you share this. That way we can get it out to as many people. Today's a big day. This week and next week, and I'll talk more about that today. But we're praying that God would open a door for that property over here for us to purchase. And God would be faithful. We celebrate this morning, but I'm going to have Jeff come up here and really tell you everything that's been going on. And then take a look at the message. We'll talk more about our part about God's plan.
Good morning. I know I came to Pastor Chad, right after that lot over there had opened up and come for sale. I'd been watching it for quite some time. And it turns out that the church had, back kind of when they were in expansion mode last time, 10, 15 years ago, had tried to buy that property. And so it came up for sale, and I went to Chad and said, hey, this is for sale, and I really think we should take a look at it. And Chad kind of said, yeah, I always wondered who owned it and was always interested in it, but that's about how far it went. And then I think, Pastor Chad saw something else that was shiny and moved on to the next thing. So I came to him and said, hey, let's do something about this. And Chad's like, well, how much is it? And they were asking $35,000 at the time. So told him that, and I said, hey, why don't you check with the district and check with LBA and see if the church leadership is behind it. So I talked to Chad. He called me a couple hours later, because when he gets something in his mind, he moves on it. So you have to be careful what you say to him. But he called Tim at the district and said, hey, we're looking at this, and Tim said, from the district standpoint, don't let this opportunity pass by. He said, whatever it takes, get it. Because he knows that this church is poised for something bigger. That we're going to need, like we've been talking about, we need to prepare. We don't know for what. We don't know how we're going to be used, but we have some preparations to do here. Internally, with the building, with each other, building us up so we're ready. And feel that this property, since we are landlocked and have opportunity for growth and have potential for growth and are setting ourselves up for growth, that we really should get that property. And several people have said, well, what are we going to do with it? And I have no idea how God will use that. I just know that He will. So I went and, after talking to the church, made an offer of $20,000. They came back, and from 35 they came back down to 30. So I went back at them with $25,000, and they came back at $27,500, and that's what we accepted. So we do have an accepted offer to purchase that property, with closing being right now projected for February 13th or 14th. So we have a month. We have a month, and Chastity put together a challenge for you guys. The district has said that they want us to have that so much that they're going to pay a third. They're going to match our funds with a third. So we need to come up with somewhere up from $18,000, and the district will kick in a little over $9,000. So we can have that property, it can be ours. Need to pray about how it'll be used, and I'm hoping that in the possibly next week, it'll be a little warmer, but we can circle up around that property and pray over it. We can commission it, that it be used to further the kingdom. So gut feeling is, next year we will have a community garden, and we'll have, I don't know, 150 tomato plants for JJ to do something with.
Hallelujah!
Use what we need to, community gardens, whatever. There's a 3-stall garage on it that we're looking at renting out to help offset some of the costs until we decide what we need to do with it. It is a buildable lot, so whether we decide to build a Habitat for Humanity's house and donate it, or we build a house ourselves and sell it as a fundraiser, or we do a teen center, or it just turns into a parking lot, or a reflection park, or who knows what it'll be. But it will be used. So it's a real exciting time that we're all going to be able to partner together. And the first step here in preparing is to get it purchased, to get our funds raised. And we have a couple weeks to do that. So that's kind of my side of the story. I think we're poised for great things. Putting stuff together there, as well as getting our growth groups going and getting our internal house in order and getting things in place so that we can be lined up and ready for whatever call God puts on our lives.
I just want to thank you for all the work you've done, working with the realtors, just getting all the contracts and everything ready, and just working relentlessly for us to get this thing. It's been amazing. Another announcement this morning, we're going to start having Connect cards, and I'm going to have Kayla come up and talk to you guys a little bit more about that, but that's going to be a big way for us to spread the word about fundraising for that property, along with many other things. So I'd like to tell you a little bit more about these.
So we redid our Connect cards. I gave a lot of words to Maggie, and she made it look pretty for us all. So we have Connect cards. These are what are normally under the seats for visitors, for new people, as a way to connect with them. What we want to do now, though, is we're going to have all of you fill them out, no matter if you've been here 1 time, 100 times, 1,000 times, or if this has been your home since you were born. Because we want to revamp and reestablish our directory, our mailing list, our ability to send out newsletters, prayer requests, info on women's ministry, kids ministry, pertaining to what we have. So my ask this morning, as I'm going to hand them out, is each person fill one out, especially even if you're married or in the same household, for the purpose of, on here also, one of my passions with developing the prayer center and all of that, is reestablishing an emergency prayer chain. So not the day-to-day things that we post on Facebook, but unfortunately we all know life doesn't happen on Sundays only. So this would be the, hey, someone falls, and as a church, as a church body, as a family, we believe prayer is such a powerful thing. That this would be sending out a text message, an email message, a Facebook, or a phone call saying, hey, Pastor Chad's on his way to the emergency room, we need prayers right now. So this would be not in place of being able to talk or the prayer board back there, but this would be those emergency ones. And to be able to use for so many ways. So in our next couple weeks, we're going to remind people to fill them out. Whether you're in college, whether you're married, single, a kid, an adult, if you have something you're passionate about, you want to get out there, I encourage you to fill it out so we can find things that speak to you. And then these, as we get our church body filled, will also become our normal connect cards I can put under the chairs.
Thank you, Kim. I just want to thank Taylor for all the hard work she put into these connect cards. Thank you for making them look pretty. Like Deb does for me every week for bulletin. For a picture and a bunch of words, and she makes one you guys get to see when you walk in here. This is a very exciting time. Prayers, the way God's worked so fast on that property, this shows that He wants to open that door for us. He has amazing opportunities for us to use that property. And just from the first talk I had with Jeff to everything being finalized this week and accepting the offer, it's just gone so fast. And it can only be God. I don't want you to question that. There's a reason this stuff happened the way it did. So this week and next week, I really want to push the idea of risk-taking faith. I really want to push this is an investment that we can make individually and as a church going forward in our mission to reach everyone, risking everything to reach everyone. At least the kids, though. Probably home next morning. But like Jeff said, the district is behind us, the LBA, the board is behind us, leadership, and they've done their part in all this. And now we have to do our part. We pray, we ask God to move on this property, to open that door for us to be able to purchase it, and He has. Now it's time for us to respond. We have stepped out of faith in making and accepting that offer. We took a risk as a team. Now I'm asking each of you to be praying about stepping out of faith so we can purchase that property. God has trusted us with. That's huge. I'm asking each of you not to invest only in the present and the immediate future of Heartland, but to invest in your kids, families, your grandkids, your great-grandkids. When we get that property, there's so many things that are going to happen there. It's going to keep going. It's not just about this time here, but it's how God is going to use that property in the future to change lives. We're investing in eternal lives of those that we can reach and impact. We need to answer those who have their eyes on this church, on this team, on Heartland. You might be asking, what do you mean by answering the question? And who are these people? Well, the first person is God. God has heard our promise to risk everything to reach everyone. Now He's watching to see if we're going to come through on that promise. If we'll follow through on what we said we were going to do. Second, the enemy, Satan, has many strongholds in this community. He sees this emerging dangerous church, and he's wondering if it was just words or if we're going to put those words into action. If we're going to stand on the promises that we made. And he's hoping that we'll let us back down. That we won't be a dangerous church. We'll play it safe. Third, our community. Our community sees what we're doing. the events we have, the outreach. They see our posts on Facebook. They see our videos of our services. And they're seeing this church, and they're seeing us doing some big things. And they're doing one of two things. Either they're coming and getting involved and seeing something that's moving and happening here, or they're scrolling past it with this belief that a church would really commit to doing the things that we say we're going to do. Will we really risk everything we have to reach everyone we can? Will we really go after the people that no one else is going after? Or are we just talking? They want to see there's action in our words. And they have some proof right now with our outreach, with our back-to-school match, the things we do in the community, with the open events that we always have to try and reach people. But they're also wondering, will it be continued? How committed are they? Is this something that will last? And then there's the people sitting around you, the people watching from home today. I want you to look around at each other, the people next to you, the people behind you. We stood up together and said we would do this. It's to both those words together that we would be a dangerous church, to break strongholds in this community, to free people through the power of the Holy Spirit, to preach the name of Jesus. As we're looking around, we need to think to ourselves, am I risking everything that I have to reach everyone I can? Was it just a cool thing to say? Or is it who we really are? Is that who we are? Is that our DNA? And maybe you ever thought about just how many eyes are on us right now. How many waiting for questions? Are they really a dangerous church? Will they start strong and then take a step back? Like we did with Maximizing Impact. We got the money, we made some huge improvements. We made the downstairs look really cool for the kids. We had a plan in place, everything was going good, we were excited. And it started to slowly slip away. We took a step back. But we continue to go further. We continue to go forward. And they continue to model risk-taking faith. Or will they start to play it safe, as they have in the past? Questions that are out there, guys that are honest. As for me, it's not hard to tell that I believe. I believe we are a dangerous church. I believe in each one of you. I know God has such amazing plans for this family, for this church, for this team. He's positioned us in this season for growth. I can feel it, I can hear it in your voices, I can see it in your faces. We talk to you about the different things we can be doing, the things you want to be involved in. And I'm so excited to see how God uses each one of you for passions that He's put on your heart. But it doesn't matter what I think, or what I believe, or what I know this church can do. I can only show you the mission, the vision, and tell you that I'm 100% behind it. And we can do this as a team. I will always be willing to take big risks, because I know that God will use this church and every person in it if you allow Him to. If we allow Him to. If you're ready to take that next step with me. And that step can be scary. But I would rather take a big risk and fail and learn something from it than regret never taking it at all. Because, like the first point today, you can't play it safe taking notes this morning. Do not play it safe and please God. Hebrews 11:6 says, without faith it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists, that he rewards those who earnestly seek him. I believe God is calling us in the church to be faith-filled, to do big things for the kingdom of God, for eternity. We should never insult God with small thinking or small goals. And that's the kind of church we proclaim to be, right? All. See all. See every person, see every opportunity, see every need, meet that need. No matter where they are in their life, no matter where they came from. Have that conversation. Don't judge them, don't look down on them. See people, see their hearts. See past where they've been through in life. See past where they are in their lives. Meet them where they are. Meet them where Jesus met you. See. See all, love all, serve all. Be a dangerous, risk-taking, chain-breaking church. Be committed to the vision of risking everything we have to reaching everyone we can. Over the next 2 weeks, we'll have the opportunity, like the old saying says, to put our money where our mouth is. Or to put it a better way, we're going to put our investment where our faith is. Put our investment where our faith is. Like I said before, and I cannot stress enough, God has opened this door. After all this time, after I'm on this property for so long, talking to people that have been here for a long time, that have really always wanted to push to get that property, now God has opened that door. Presented us with this opportunity. He's waiting to see how we will respond, individually, and as a church, as a team. Will we pass this first test? Will we represent who we say we are? Will we respond in faith? Or will we respond in fear and back away? Will we give into that fear and just offer or donate or invest what we feel is safe? Or will we step out of our comfort zones and respond by saying and praying, Lord, this is uncomfortable. This goes against my safe way of doing things. But I see what you're doing here. I believe in this team. I believe in this church. I see the doors you are opening. I believe you have big plans for this community through your sons and daughters, through your church. And I want to be a part of it. I hear you call me out what is safe and onto the waves. And I'm stepping out in faith this morning. I pray that is a prayer that you will sit down and really have a shot. You know your comfort zone. I'm asking you to step out a little bit. So what does this risk-taking faith look like? It looks like Peter. He's a great example of this. When he was in the boat, as Jesus is walking on the waves, walking on the water, and Peter gets out and walks with him. And many think that Peter failed because he sank. He saw Jesus on the waves. He cried out to Jesus, Lord, if it's you, ask me to come out. And Jesus said, come. Come out of the boat and meet me on the waves. And he did. But when he took his eyes off the Lord, he began to sink, began to drown. He reached up, and Jesus pulled him to safety back to the boat. And there are people who think that he failed because he sank. But there were 11 other guys in that boat that didn't get out. There were 11 other people that saw Jesus on the waves. It never crossed their mind to think, I'm going to go out to him. They were safe in the boat. They didn't want to take that next step. People think that failing means you're missing God. And I've discovered that failing is often the first step to discovering God, to leaning on Him instead of your own plan and your own power. We can never let the fear of failure stop us from taking a step of faith. You have to trust God. See what He's doing here. Believe what He's doing here. But Chad, what's going to happen if I step out of my boat, step out of my comfort zone, write a check that I'm not used to writing and give like I've never given before? I don't know. You got to step out of the boat to find out. I can't tell you. Over these next 2 weeks, there's going to be so many emotions. So much is going to happen. Excited, scared, anxious. It's like we're all lined up on a bridge and I'm hooking you guys up with these bungee straps. It's 1,000 feet down to the creek bed below. We're all standing on the edge of the railing, saying we wanted to do this, saying we were ready to jump, proclaiming that that's the church that we are. And I'm asking you to step out, step off the solid ground into that unknown place. We have no idea what God is going to do with this. But that's the definition of faith. We believe it even though we can't see it. Hebrews 11:1. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. It's the opposite of how we were taught to reason and make decisions in this world. I'll believe it when I see it. That's what we like. If I can see what God is going to do with this property, if I can see the lives that are going to be changed, if I can see what I'm going to get out of this, what I'm going to get as a return for my investments, then I'll give. If I see it's going to be good, I know exactly what's going to happen, how it's going to be structured, how it's going to be put together, then I'll give. That's how we think. That's safe. Once I have a guarantee and see what God wants to do, then I'll give a nice, safe investment to help pay for it. But faith doesn't work like that. Faith isn't safe. This might sound a little harsh, but as long as you have a guarantee, you don't have faith. As long as you have a guarantee, you don't have faith. You can have faith, or you can have control. You can have faith, or you can have control. But you can't have both. Sometimes you just have to say, I think God is calling me to do this. And go. Some of you will have a hard time letting go of this control so that you can take the step of faith. We're going to do some things as a church, as a team, and I honestly don't know how it's going to all work out, how it's going to come together. But I do know is that God isn't going to show us steps 3, 4, and 5 until we take steps 1 and 2. We want 3, 4, and 5. We see in our heads the people in our lives that we can reach. Christ can reach through us. We see in our heads and we're dreaming about the possibilities of using gift God has given us to heal families, to heal individuals, the way Jesus did for us. And we want 3, 4, and 5 right now, but it takes the sacrifice of 1 and 2 to get there. We can't skip those steps. We have to show Him that we're all in. And then He'll bring the rain. We prepare the field. He'll bring the rain. He'll bring the harvest. It's exactly what Peter did. We take that step and keep our eyes focused on the author and perfecter of our faith. Keep our eyes focused on Jesus. And suddenly, we're not walking by sight, but by faith. Great faith pleases God in a great way, showing Him how much we trust Him. Your faith is not the outcome that you want. Your faith is not in the outcome that you want. Your faith is in the faithfulness of God. And as you grow individually in your faith, in your trust, in your stepping out, we grow as a church spiritually. We grow as a team. You grow, we grow. But it takes each one of us to get there. We're not going to sit back. We're thinking big. We're planning big. We have a big mission. God did not give us a small commission. He gave us a great mission. We're going to tell the world about Jesus. God wants to do exceedingly more than we can ask, think, or imagine. According to His power, so that He may be glorified for generations to come. This investment isn't just to reach that mark that we're trying to get. This investment is for the future. This investment is for ever. It's for eternal purposes. It's just not a one-time thing. All right, we have this property now. We're all good. No. People's lives are going to be changed for years and years to come. And I promise you, as your pastor, I'll never get to the point where I say, this is good enough. Because we can always do better. We can always try harder. We can always do something new. There's not a number that we can reach or a number of seats that we can fill. It's going to be enough. Or I'm going to get to the point where I say, God has really moved to grow our church. He's really built this team, and we're at a point now that we're getting too big. We've affected the kingdom, but we can stop now. You'll never hear me say that. Like Pastor Craig Michelle said, if you think the church is too big, then your love for people is too small. It's not about filling the chairs. We need to get past that mindset. It's about impacting lives. So they feel at home here, so they feel the love of the people here. Yes, we want a full building. We want a big team. The bigger our team, the more we can impact people in the community. The more we can send people on missions. The more we can do what we were called to do in the church. As long as there is someone who does not know Jesus, and the church is not too big, the need in the world is big. It does seem that we're a small church right now. But this small church has a big vision and a big heart. It makes big commitments following God. I believe God wants us to think big in this way, because faith pleases the heart of God. He's committing to things that He's opened the doors to do, and us walking through those places pleases the heart of God. So I need to ask who we are. people are asking who we are. And for me, my answer would be, we are a dangerous church. A team, a family that stood up in one voice, and one heart, and one spirit, and proclaimed God, proclaimed the enemy, proclaimed to each other that we would risk everything we have, whatever it takes, to reach everyone that we can. But actions, like I said, speak louder than words. And over the next 2 weeks, our commitment to that promise we put to the test. Are we still standing like we were that first day when we committed to this? Are we still willing? Is this still what we want to do? Because I know God really wants us to have this property. It's pretty clear how fast everything happened. I know the district and Tim herself wants us to have this property. I know the board does. There's no secret that I do. I can't stop thinking about the opportunities and the things we can do over there. But none of this happens without you. None of this happens unless you want it. And I know you do. Last thing this morning, our heart is reflected in our investments. Our heart is reflected in our investments, how we spend our time, how we invest our time, how we invest our money. Everything that we invest, that we have in this temporary life, directly reflects where our heart is. If you look at your calendars and your bank statements, it'll give you a pretty clear picture of where you are, where you're spending your money. If you look at your calendars, it'll give you a pretty clear picture of who you're spending your time with, what investments you're making with that time. Then we need to ask ourselves, where's God on that list? How much does he show up in our finances? How much does he show up in that calendar? Am I risking everything to reach everyone? Or is it just something I do? And most people I know would like to have a little more money. And will do their best to get it any way they can, in an honest way, of course. Maybe you heard a story of a mother who saw her 3-year-old son put a nickel in his mouth. She immediately picked him upside down, started beating on his back, and he coughed up 2 dimes. So she called her husband and said, "Your son just swallowed a nickel and coughed up 2 dimes, what should I do?" The dad replied, "Keep feeding the nickels, I'll be there as soon as I can." Now, feeding your children nickels is probably not a very good investment of your money. Most of us are looking for the best investment that we can find. The highest return for those investments in the shortest amount of time. That's the way we're wired, that's the way we're taught. With the lowest risk. That will be the ultimate investment. Physically, this temporary world. That's how we think. But sometimes the best deals are not always the whole short-term investments. We need to begin thinking in longer terms. And in fact, the very best investments that we can make are in the longest term you can imagine. And they won't pay off until eternity, when we get to heaven. And I realize some people aren't interested in that kind of investment. They want it all now. They want immediate payoff for their investment. Instant gratification. But God's way is to defer returns on our money. Invest that money to eternity. And he promises to make well worth the wait. 2 weeks. That's what I feel. That's how much I I believe we can raise the money we need in 2 weeks. I'm trusting God for that. I'm trusting you for that. And I sound crazy. 2 weeks. Isn't that wanting instant results? Pastor, did you just speak about that? You know what you said? No. Because I'm not expecting instant results. I'm expecting instant investments. There's a difference. The results will last for generations to come. As long as this church is here, that investment is going to be working. It's going to last into eternity for all the people who accept Christ and live eternally in heaven with Him. Thus, I want to respond in faith with instant investments, instant commitments that will last for all eternity. I want our instant investments to fuel the results that will happen. But the safest way, we probably think, a lot of people think, is to do it like most churches do, with a long, drawn-out pledge drive, put a little thermometer up here, and check on it every once in a while, see how high we are. Like we did with the parking lot, paved the lane. Like we did with maximizing impact. And yes, that's a safe way to do things. And that is what most churches will do. But we are not most churches. This opportunity is different. This team is different. This atmosphere around us is different. This feeling of what is God going to do next is different. The way He's opening doors and building up His church is different. So we are going to raise the money different. No long-term pledges, the final payments at the end of 2 years, no loans we pay back at the end of 10 years. We won't even take pledges and investments over the next 6 months and see where we land financially. See if maybe we can take a loan at that point. No. Like I said before, things have changed. We are moving forward. And we have people in this dangerous church who are ready. And we can get this done in 2 weeks. I believe it. So how does Dangerous Church fundraise? But I figured to be $18,333. That's given, take $1. But y'all thought I'd have to get to take care of it. But I'll tell you how we'll do it. We'll start taking investments and pledges and donations as early as today. Are you ready? You want to come to me with that? Next week, come to me, come to Jeff. Next week, we'll continue taking pledges and donations. And we will pray over the property next week. We won't pray over it today, so I don't want you guys to get frostbite. But be praying for that property. Next week, we'll pray over that property as a team, as a church. Like I said, we'll continue to take investments and pledges next week. Sunday, February 2nd, Super Bowl Sunday. Has nothing to do with anything. Just throwing that out there. That's the day that we're going to turn in our pledges and all money. During that service, we'll have the guys go count what we've got from today to next Sunday to that final day. And when they're done, they'll come out and tell us that we have needed, and I didn't even expect that we will exceed that goal. That's the kind of faith I have. And God's vision for this church. That's the kind of faith I have in you. You will give that investment. You care about it as much as I do. praise Him for putting this dream in our hearts, and showing us where this church can go. And we want to be a part of it. I just want each of you to be a part of it. We pray God would open this door, and He did. Now we have the opportunity to strengthen and build this church, to invest in this team, invest in each of your families, invest in your kids' families, in your grandchildren's families, your great-grandchildren's families, as long as this church is here. We have this open door to make a significant contribution to building up God's family and the kingdom of God, which is what we're called to do. I pray if you're fearful right now, if you're skeptical right now, that you will close your eyes to your temporary fears. Shut Satan's lying mouth about you can't afford this, it's not worth it. I'm not selling you something here that's not important. There is nothing more important than impacting this community for Christ. Our eyes need to be open to see and hear the truth and understand the eternal impact we get to be a part of and respond in faith. So be praying over it. If God is calling you to give something today, talk to Jeff, talk to me. You want to pledge something to give next week? You can write that down today. But this week, just be praying. You know that everyone needs ahead. It's going to take everybody stepping out to get there. But I believe that we can. I know that we can. Let's pray. Dear God, thank you for this church. Thank you for allowing me to serve here as a pastor. I know the potential each person has. I know the potential for this team. You are lining things up, putting the leaders in the right positions, getting us prepared for what's coming. Lord, open our hearts, open our minds. Let us see the eternal promise that you're showing us. This week, let us look at our calendars and look at our checkbooks and look at our bank statements. What are we investing in? Fast food, entertainment, things we see on Amazon, Facebook, we just instantly buy them. How much of that could have went to this investment? How much of that still came? Where are our priorities? We stood up and proclaimed that we would be a dangerous church. Your church. We would break strongholds and set captives free. We would be a chain-breaking church. And you said, okay. I'm going to open this door. And I'm going to see if you're really committed to what you said you were. Will you walk through it, or will you let it slip by? I know you will walk through that door. There's as much money as we need and more. That's the faith I have in you, God. That's the faith I have in this person here. I give you all the praise, honor, and glory. In Jesus' name we pray. place. Let your Holy Spirit make our hearts, put that burden on our hearts for our community. Like Jesus had for the people that were lost and sheep, like sheep without a shepherd. They tossed around, feeling like they were outcasts, like they didn't matter. We know they matter. We were those sheep. Somebody invested in us, and it's time that we invest in them. We are not a saved church. We are a dangerous church. I stand on that promise. I believe it. I proclaim it. And we are going to show you. We're going to show the enemy. We're going to show this community. We're going to show each other just how much we're willing to risk to reach everyone we can. So we give you all the praise.